There is rapid relief and rescue operations currently being carried out by the district administration. It's a joint operation by the NDRF, the SDRF, the Army and the ITBP personnel along with the team of NIM to rescue the trainees who have been trapped in the avalanche in Draupadi's Danda-2 mountain peak at the earliest. Those are the latest visuals that we are bringing to you of the chopper. The rescue operations are currently on. As we all know, the 28 mountaineers have been trapped. The avalanche struck Uttarakhand, and post this avalanche, 28 mountaineers have been struck. As we are learning, as of now, the rescue operations are a joint effort currently being carried out by the district administration along with the assistance of the NDRF, the SDRF, the Army and the ITBP personnel as well. Anupam Trivedi joins me on the phone line with more details. Anupam, if you could take us through the latest. Has there been any information trickling in regarding rescue of any of those mountaineers?
As far as the information is concerned, more than 140 people were part of a group, part of the training group, which they went up to the Danda-2 mountains, and there's a glaciers over there. And as per the reports today morning at around 9:15, and this occurred when due to avalanche, some of the trainees they fell in a crevasse, and there were some 29. Officials say there were 29 people who fell in the crevasse, and so far the 8 have been rescued. 21 are still trapped in the crevasse, and some of them are feared dead. And the administration and the rescue teams are trying to rescue the as much as they can, because due to geographical conditions and the not favorable kind of a mountain over there, the weather over there, the condition is becoming difficult so far. So the Army has been present in services, the ITBP and all the rescue teams of the Uttarakhand district administration, they are doing this rescue work. Yeah.
Right. It seems like this is a joint effort, as has been highlighted by you. You were also talking about how the weather condition is, of course, not favorable. Could you take us through those moments soon after the avalanche struck, and what is been the weather condition so far?
See, what we have collected from a bit of information we have gathered from the officials is that around 9:15 a.m. today, there was an avalanche. There was a sudden avalanche, though it's a kind of a glaciers over there. And due to avalanche, some of them they slipped and they fell into a crevasse. And after falling into the crevasse, the information could not be, circulated that they are in some kind of they need some help, and the information reached a bit slow. And it took some 2-3 hours to rescue them. So far, the officials are trying to rescue as much people as they can. This is the information which we have gathered so far.
Also, if you could tell us a little more about those mountaineers who are also struck. We are learning that these are 28 trainees from the Nehru Mountaineering Institute. If you could throw more light on that, Anupam.
Yes, the exact number is 29. See, from time to time, Nehru Institute of Mountaineering, they undertake the courses, various courses.
All right.
And they all were part of the advanced courses. The advanced course means they already had a idea of the mountaineering. They used to do the mountaineering, and therefore they were taken up to the hills. And we are just trying to gather more information about the mountains, where it is exactly located, and what is the height of the mountain kind of thing. But since there was a glacier, so we can just understand the conditions must be very difficult over there.
Also, how crucial is going to be the role of the IAF, considering Rajnath Singh has also spoken about it. The Raksha Mantri has said that he has instructed the IAF. Also, let's quickly go across to Arunima, who's joining us on the phone line. Arunima, if you could throw some more light on the rescue ops that are currently underway. The Raksha Mantri has also spoken about involving the IAF in these rescue missions. If you could throw more light.
Yes, so what we have been told is that this was a group of 170 civilians who were taking training for trekking, and they were at the Nehru Institute of Mountaineering. This is at Uttarakhand, where they were being trained for summit climb. During the course of that training, before they reached the summit, there was an avalanche that hit and at least 28 people were affected in that avalanche. We don't know what the numbers are. Casualties are feared, but we don't know the numbers yet. However, Raksha Mantri in his tweet has said that he has spoken to the Chief Minister there, and he said, "I've instructed the Indian Air Force to mount rescue and relief operation. ITBP operated helipad is there in the vicinity. So both the IAF and ITBP are trying to mount a rescue along with SDRF. We are hoping to get more clarity in terms of numbers in a bit from now."
Right. And if you're learning any information in terms of the intensity of this avalanche, I believe there were not 28 mountaineers, but 29, as has been highlighted by Anupam earlier. Is there any information of other casualties as yet?
There could be more. I mean, the numbers, preliminary information that has reached headquarters is 28, 29. But like I said, the total was a group of 170. So there were 170 civilians who were undertaking this training. There are casualties. So, of course, the impact of the avalanche was very severe. How many people were, brought down safely? If there are still people trapped there, those numbers are not clear yet, because we are talking about a mountain summit. Reaching that place, getting information must be taking time. But this is what we know for sure. 170 people were trying to climb that summit. It was part of a training process. Then there was an avalanche that hit. At least 28, could be more. People were directly affected. There are some casualties which are feared. And right now, Raksha Mantri has spoken to the State Chief Minister. Indian Air Force is pressed into service. ITBP is trying to help in whatever way they can. The State Disaster Relief Force is at the spot. We are still waiting to know how many people have survived this, how many lost their lives.
Absolutely. In fact, also important to talk about how significant is the Danda-2 mountain peak, which is part of the Uttarakhand mountain range. As we were also learning earlier from our correspondents that, the fact that Nehru Mountaineering Institute conducts, on time to time, they conduct training sessions of, climbing the summit, as something that you were also highlighting, Arunima, that these mountaineers were all set to climb the summit as well. So important to talk about how important Danda-2 mountain peak is in terms of mountaineering sessions.
What we know is that, civilians who want to carry out trekking expeditions require some kind of training. And there are two such institutes which provide training. One is in Himachal Pradesh. The other one is the NIM, the Nehru Institute of Mountaineering in Uttarakhand. This is the place where trekkers, civilians who want to climb summits are given training. And this, Danda peak that they were trying to climb was part of that training to get them acclimatized with the topography there, to give them on-ground training about how to clear the summit. It is unfortunate that an avalanche struck at this point. There are, met warnings about heavy rain slashing that area. So
right.
Of that weather system, we have to wait and see.
And since you're mentioning about the weather condition and how it's not been so far favorable, of course, the avalanche already stuck. If you could take us through what is the weather condition so far?
Of course, we have a weather warning from the IMD over the next 2 days. 6th onwards, there are predictions of heavy rainfalls. In the Kumaon belt, it could have its repercussions in the other parts of the state, all the way down to Delhi as well. Talking about the weather condition and how it is affecting the trekkers, just recently, just about 2 weeks back, there was another incident there where trekkers trying to cross over between Himachal and Uttarakhand. One person lost his life because of the heat. The snow really gave away, creating a crevice in which one of the trekkers from West Bengal fell. So those